I'm delighted to be here with Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington, who shares my strong concern about an issue that I think does not often get the attention that it deserves, but is one of the most important issues facing our democratic society. We cannot live in a vibrant democracy unless people get divergent sources of information and have the opportunity to hear a serious debate about the major issues facing our country. And when you have a smaller and smaller number of large media conglomerates owning and controlling what the American people see, hear, and read, you have a real threat to the kind of democracy that many of us want this country to be. In 1983, 90% of American media was owned by 50 different companies. Today, that 90% of media is now owned and controlled by 6 giant media conglomerates, and they are General Electric, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, and CBS. What we are discussing today and are concerned about is a proposal being dealt with at the FCC, which frankly has not gotten a whole lot of discussion. And if that proposal, which is kind of a rehash of proposals which have been brought up in years past, if that proposal were to go into effect, what you could see in one of the in the 20 largest media markets in this country is that one company could own the major daily newspaper, 2 television stations, and up to 8 radio stations. One company owning all of that media within a given community. And furthermore, that company could be a major internet provider in that community as well. Now, this whole discussion about media consolidation has been going on for a number of years. And I know Senator Cantwell and I have been working on this issue, and I can tell you that in the House, when we worked on that issue, and I was in the House, you had millions of people, some 3 million people, given the opportunity to give input on this issue. 99% of the people who gave input said, no, we think media consolidation is not a good idea. And when they had, under the Bush administration recently, 6 public hearings, large numbers of people came out and said, no, we don't think media consolidation is a good idea. What concerns me very much is that kind of under the radar screen in recent weeks, Chairman Janikowski and the other members appear to be going forward in a more or less similar proposal to what the American people said no to, what a court said no to. And this is not only an issue of media consolidation, it is an issue of whether we are going to see women and minorities owning a reasonable part of our media. And when you have consolidation, that also does not happen. So this is a huge issue for American democracy. I intend to do everything that I can to prevent this proposal from going forward, and I look forward to working with a number of my colleagues in the Senate and in the House who share that perspective. So without further ado, let me introduce Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington. Senator?
Well, thank you, Bernie, and it's great to be here with Senator Sanders, who I have a great deal of respect for his outspoken leadership on so many issues, and particularly for organizing my colleagues in a letter in opposition to the proposed rule change at the FCC. Senator Sanders, thank you so much for that leadership role and being loud and boisterous about the need to make sure that we do not overdo media consolidation. The FCC has a history of trying to loosen the media ownership rules, and they are trying to do it again. Today, Senator Sanders and I are here to show our strong support in opposition to this new proposed rule change, and we are not the only ones. Public interest groups are coming forward to say they also are concerned and want to make sure that we have a strong and vibrant press, and that the FCC should do what's good for Main Street and not for Wall Street. We are concerned about the proposed rule that has been circulated to streamline and modernize the media ownership rules, and this comes at a time when a report detailing the shockingly low number of media outlets run by women and minorities. A rule that makes it easier for corporations to control more media voices will not increase the diversity in the marketplace. And unfortunately, the draft rule was circulated behind closed doors. The commission should hold firm to ensure that this rule won't get a majority if it's voted on. And I'm glad to hear the FCC has at least postponed the decision until after the new year. However, I'm not confident that the public interest will be served in this debate. So we urge our fellow colleagues to focus on pushing the commission to vote no when this particular rule comes forth. As members of Congress, we all know what it is like to vote on a piece of legislation, but when a bill goes too far, you need to remember the people that you serve, and this is where the commission needs to be. Members of the commission, when considering a move that will strengthen media consolidation and strip newspapers and TV and radio stations of diverse voices, we want to make sure that the FCC does not approve a rule that weakens media ownership. So this is a road we've been down before. In 2007, former chairman Kevin Martin tried to push through similar rules, and we stopped them in their tracks by making sure that we passed a resolution of disapproval, and that resolution passed in 2008 and then went on with a court decision. So I am confident that we will push forward in Congress to do the same thing again. The FCC can vote down this rule. That's what we are going to encourage them to do. And we are going to fight here in the Senate to make sure that we are focusing on the diversity of voices and opinion that need to be there in our media landscape.